to the New Birth Cyber Sanctuary platform. We're thankful that our senior pastor, Dr. Jamal Bryant, has thought it so impactful and important for us to be able to give you inspiration, insight, and excerpts of how to live life on a daily basis in a various aspect of how we can impact your lives. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for doing what you do. If you take a minute, share, tag, text, and let everybody you know understand that New Birth in 15 minutes of daily inspiration has begun. As you realize, I have shifted for a segment of time to teach us some basics, some 101s, going back into the classroom on social media, technology, and the internet. So I want you to grab your pastor, your ministerial team, your media manager. I want you to grab your CEO if you're an entrepreneur or no one. Get them in the room. Get your mom, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, everybody that you know that has questions. I'm going to answer them today. I ask that you follow me on every platform on social media at I am Kervance Ross, and I'll do my best to follow you back. And up front, I want you to know that if you have any questions, that you can email us. I set up an email address box just for you. It's I, as in internet and innovation, I at newbirth.org. And I'll take time to go through the box, select a few questions, and answer them live as we move forward. Last week, I started with some basics, the 101s of social media from Facebook and Instagram. And so many of you talked about, I didn't know that, Pastor. I didn't understand that. I didn't realize the basics of my device. And today, we are going a little farther. I'm going to give you an opportunity to understand some things about technology and social media that you're going to need to be successful. Realize that I get calls all the time from pastors, from individuals, and from business owners asking how they can maximize their social media. Well, I'm taking that opportunity, thanks to our senior pastor, and helping you do it in 15 minutes of daily inspiration. So today, let's go back into the classroom. Let's start right here. This is what everybody wants to know. Pastor, how do I grow my platform on social media? I see people with numbers, with followers, and I don't know how to get beyond the numbers that I have. Well, let me give you some off-script information. Generally, if you have content that is specifically targeted to a group of people that are contextually focused on the message that you have, you're going to have to cultivate them with information that helps them. I'll say it again. You'll have to cultivate them with information that helps them. You cannot get seduced at looking at somebody else's page, looking at somebody else's platform, and deciding to water down your content because you see somebody with more followers. It is social media, but it is still life. And realize that timing is everything. One of the greatest motivators on the planet, his name is Eric Thomas. They call him E, the hip-hop preacher. Got a chance to have dialogue with his social media manager. And it was interesting to me that before he became a global phenomenon, he was posting messages, videos, and inspiration on YouTube for more than 6 years. And on average, never had more than 100 views. He kept posting the content, kept being consistent with his message, kept being true to himself. And all of a sudden one day, a woman who was about to commit suicide ran across one of his messages. And she was so impacted from the message that she had received that had gotten less than 100 views, that because of her circumstance, she shared it with her circle. Her circle shared it with their circle. And that less than 100 view post ended up with more than 100,000 views in less than a week. And then people started looking at his other content And now he is the most sought after motivational speaker in the world. Realize that your content is what's going to help you grow your platform. What are you saying that is so impactful to the people that you've been called to impact that you now use your platform to create a media outlet to deliver a message that only can come from your voice? You've got to understand the outlets, though. You've got to be consistent in the messaging, and I'll get into it. And you've got to make sure that the images that you portray are attractive to the psyche of the people you're trying to reach. As much as you may like what we do at New Birth, our platform process and brand construction is not for everybody. I'll say it again. You trying to duplicate exactly how we do it could cause minor success and major failure. You've got to understand that growing your platform is a continual, consistent process. So I want to help you. Not only do you need to be able to grow your platform, but under that, you need to be able to manage your messages. You need to be able to manage your messages. Your messages have to be portable. They have to be practical, and they have to be poignant. They have to be portable, they have to be practical, and they have to be poignant. They have to be poignant to the fact that they reach the market so that people can understand what you're trying to say. How does what you say reach me in a way that makes me want to transform what I'm doing, how I've done it, and hear from you again? They've got to be portable, because I got to be able to take what you said and then transport it to a place that makes it work for me. And in this understanding, I need them to be powerful as well. You've got to say it with a certain amount of energy. You've got to create a character that allows people to recognize, I need to hear that message from that person again. And you've got to practice it. One of the things that you'll learn from social media from a marketing standpoint is that people remember in 3s, 5s, and 7s. I'll say it again. People remember in 3s, 5s, and 7s. So if you realize there are 3 steps to such and such, 5 steps to this, 7 ways to get this done, it allows people to retain information in a simple way. You will always be able to find success with your 3s, your 5s, and your 7s. This is going to be the content for maintaining and managing your message. Your message has to be managed from a perspective that you are credible with the conversation you're having. I want you to take that note. Somebody put it on the screen. I've got to be credible with the conversation. Because if you're talking about something that you have no credibility in, it's going to minimize your message. I said a whole lot, and I said it in a simple way. If you're talking about something on social media, on the internet, on whatever platform that you have, and you're not credible with your content, it's going to minimize your message, and it's going to put you in a position where you're unable to grow your platform effectively. Or if you grow the platform, what you'll find yourself being able to do is cap out, because they're going to have some questions for you that you can't answer because you're not credible in that space. Social media puts you in a space where you can put on a mask, you can put on a face, but sooner or later, you're going to have to match the message you're putting up. So now you know that you've got to grow your platform, and to grow your platform, you've got to understand your target. You've got to make sure that you're consistent in the process, and I'm going to touch on that in a few minutes. You've got to manage your message, and you've got to communicate clearly and consistently. I say you've got to communicate clearly and consistently. What does this mean? You've got to realize that you have a minute to 3 minutes to grab your audience. You've got to grab your crowd right up front. And as you communicate it, it's got to be clear. You've got to be able to take that one thought and get in front of these people, understanding that we are in an instant society. We are in the place where we like reality TV, and the average reality TV program is 27 minutes. And within that, you've got to say a whole lot that may be in your head, and you've got to narrow it down to a group of people that have a clear understanding of the message that you're getting ready to give them. They have something they can take away. They have somebody that they need to share it with, and they want to come back and hear from you the next time. It's got to be so clear, and it's got to be consistent. You cannot be a janitor on one end and a pastor on the next one. You've got to consistently stay in the message. You can't be a brand expert here, and then on the other side of this, you want to install windows in the person's house. You've got to make sure that the messaging on social media is clear, because they're going to come back to you over and over and over again. And as you build an audience, as you build a platform, as you build a following, you want them to be clear on why they should follow you and why they should share your message with other people they believe should follow you as well. So, growing your platform. Secondly, managing your message. Thirdly, communicating clearly and consistently. Fourthly, invest in the insight. This is a big one. Invest in the insight. Social media is a monster, and you need somebody who can tame the monster. You've got to invest in the right cameras. You got to invest in the right lighting. You've got to invest in high resolution photos. You've got to invest in content that allows you to be able to look at the screen, people to hear you clearly, people to be able to see the wording in your messaging properly. How will you engage and interact? Making sure that your internet speed is up to snuff. Why? Because this is your platform. This is your brand. This is your broadcast. And no matter how small or large you are or think you are, you've got to invest in it properly. And you may need to pull some people in, some social media experts in, some brand managers, some content creators, so that they can help you cultivate the image that you are portraying and the way to get the message out at the most effective level. This is necessary in growing it, because people think I can just go out here and put my message out. I can put on the right garment. I can just get into the right camera and start saying stuff, and people are going to start following me. You've got to make sure that you're investing in it. And finally, you've got to demand the data. You've got to demand the data, according to what side of the country you're from. You've got to demand it, because numbers don't lie. You've got to study those numbers. You've got to understand who's following you, how they're following you, why they are following you, and how you get them to continually follow you again. On the flip side, why are they not following me? Do I understand what these views look like in context of who I'm reaching? Because understand that you can be on social media and I can watch you and never click on your program. I can just hit the volume button and that'll show up as a view, but it didn't mean I got any content from you. It does not mean that I stayed on with you for a certain amount of time. You want to be able to get this done. So I want to spend the last few minutes, because I've given you some 101s of social media, to help you understand that once you put these 2, 3, 4 concepts together, that now you've got to start working on the platform. So on Facebook, this is a great platform to do regular broadcasts, to pop up with a consistent schedule. And you want to make sure that you got the camera angle in the right space. The worst thing you can do on Facebook or on any platform is hold your phone down and allow people to see up your nostrils. You want to be able to put that phone, that camera, at an eye level dynamic, so it creates as though you're looking right into the people's eyes, right into their faces. These are just some basics. Get you a tripod, get you a basic camera, a circle light, something that allows you to give the best image, the best presentation in the best time frame. Try it on Facebook first. And if we can now use some of these basics, next week we'll move to Instagram and to your YouTube platform. But if you're already on Facebook, first thing is positioning, lighting, vocal. Make sure they can hear you, they can see you, and you're giving yourself the best light to get it done. This is going to help you in social media and technology 101. Grow your platform, manage your message, communicate clearly, invest in the insight, and then demand the data. With all of this, you'll be able to grow what you're doing and have effectiveness in the basics on social media. I'm going to ask you that if you got questions that were unanswered, if you'd email me at I@newbirth.org, I'm going to address those questions. I'll email you back, and I'll also answer some of those questions live on next Monday. This is what ministry is all about, and we appreciate you for tuning in. We're giving you more than just Sunday morning. We're helping you with every day of the week. And because we can't do it without you, we're asking you to partner with us. If you'd sow right now and become a partner, give your tithes, your offering, or your other expressions of giving, and do it right now by looking at the prompts that are on the screen and taking your device out and sowing a seed and becoming a partner. Not only do we want you to partner, we want you to become family. If you would literally go to joinnewbirth.org, and we don't want you to just be a frequent visitor, we want you to be a family member, and we're waiting to accept you into the New Birth family. And more importantly, if you need prayer, go to prayer@newbirth.org, and there are people, intercessors, prayer warriors waiting right now to pray with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your time. Keep sharing, keep tagging, keep texting, ask your questions, and we're going to keep helping you understand the basics of social media. I'm your pastor of Internet and Innovation, Kervance Ross. Have a drama-free and virus-free remainder of the week, and I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Peace.
New Birth. It's that time for our 365 virtual celebration. We're giving God all the glory. Sunday, November 8th.
I got my seed. Do you have your seed?
Above tithes and offering worship experience.
God can undo an entire year in one day. If you believe it, receive it.
Let's get in corporate agreement for $500,000 to continue to do the work of the ministry, alleviate our church debt, and continue to serve our community and country. Pray about your 365 seed and make a pledge today by texting NB365 to 71441 or visit newbirth.org and complete our commitment card. Also, join us for our 365 prayer call every Tuesday beginning October 13th at 7:30 a.m. Our pastor will lead us into our first Tuesday of fasting. The dial-in number is 712-775-7438. Every Tuesday, take a moment to pray, study the word, and refrain from consuming any meat, fried food, sweets, or soda. And our 365 line is available for pre-order. Pick up some exclusive custom merch. Supply is limited. Order today. You know where? At Call to Conquer. And today is National Clergy Appreciation Day. New Birth, we want to honor our great pastor for his leadership and vision. Pick up the My Pastor Dope hoodie. Available now in the Call to Conquer bookstore. Our Call to Conquer bookstore is reopening for in-store shopping Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Stop by and pick up our October Book of the Month and other ministry items. We'll see you at the Call to Conquer bookstore.
On a week-to-week basis, collectively, we service over 8,000 people.
Yes.
Collectively, with our partners and the people that come through the King's Table on Saturdays.
Wow, 8,000 people every week.
Every week.
We touch.
I'm here every Saturday serving at the King's Table from 10 to 12, and I just love what I do. Come on out.
It's almost here. It's the Vaccination Revival. October 20th, 7:30 p.m. with Dr. Jerome Glenn, Pastor Darius Nixon, and Pastor Tolan Morgan. And you don't want to miss special musical guests. Get ready for Jacqueline Carr.
I know you care before.
The musical stylings of Stout.
I can see my way. I can see my way.
And get ready for Miranda Curtis.
This is the day that the Lord has made. Yeah.
October 20th, 7:30 p.m. Log on and be blessed.